Am I the asshole for rescinding my sister's invite to my wedding and laughing at her husband? Never thought I'd be posting this here, but me and my fiancé are avid lurkers, so I thought this would be a good spot to get a judgment. I, 27 male, have two sisters, an older Jessica, 30 female, and a younger, 26 female. My parents are divorced and my dad is remarried. When I was 16, my parents split due to my mom having an affair with a friend of mine's dad. I was at the age where I could decide who to live with. I choose my dad. My sisters choose to shuffle back and forth. Me and my sisters have never been close afterwards. I have not spoken to my mom since I graduated back in 2014, and my sisters have been bitching about it since. My sisters don't like my stepmom while I love her, so they don't come to my dad's much, which we are both fine with. I don't speak to them unless necessary around the holidays. I did not attend my older sister's wedding due to the tension, so I've never met her husband. I'm currently engaged and our wedding is in December. I plan to invite both my sisters for the sake of my fiancé who wanted them there. My younger sister isn't coming because I did not invite my mom and instead have my stepmom involved, and I'm happy with that. My older sister pretends to be this big family person on social media, so I think for appearances she was going to come. After I sent the invite, she called and said it wasn't right to phase our mom out considering her side of the family will be there. I said I didn't ask her advice on the guest list. She said in solidarity with our other sister and our mother she isn't coming. I said great. That was a month ago. Last week I got a call from a random number who ended up being my brother-in-law saying he spoke with my sister and she wanted to come. I said that isn't what she said originally. He said she was trying to force something and that was wrong and she wanted to attend. I said it was too late as the offer had been rescinded. He said that family was important and it would be a good step. I asked who the hell he even was, as I've never even met him. He said my sister is too proud to call, so he did it for her. I said it was too bad her ego was that big that she'd allow her husband do her dirty work, so there was no invite. I pretty much told the guy that family wasn't that important given I don't even know who he is and that his wife tried to threaten me, so I was done with it. He said a few other things about family and I just laughed at him, telling him I don't even know him, they obviously want a free dinner and he should get his balls back from my sister. My fiancé heard most of the convo and said I was being an asshole to him, even if my sister was toxic. I told her that the asshole thing is to call on your wife's behalf about an issue that doesn't concern you. And to threaten your sibling with shit to get them to do what you want. So I was just retuning it. Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for bullying the police into pressing charges against a bunch of kids? First and most importantly, I'm not here for legal advice. I'm here to see if I'm the asshole. Second, this is my property that I have a mortgage on. It's not community or city property. This past winter, I had a pool installed at my house. After the pool installation, I had my old fence removed and installed new fences that met with the city code for a residential pool. My new fence is higher than my old one and the gates have approved locks. About a month ago I had to travel for work and was gone for about 2 weeks. I came back to find my backyard trashed and it seems someone had a pool party while I was gone. The locks on my gates were broken, but luckily no one broke into my house. I checked my security cameras and saw at least 20 teens having an all-day party that lasted late into the night. I did not give permission for anyone to be at my house, so I was mad. My cameras are HD, so their faces were clearly visible and I recognized some from the neighborhood. I went to the police and submitted a copy of the recordings and tried to file a report. The cops did their best to try to talk me out of it, but I pressed them on it until they relented and took a report. Weeks passed by and I heard nothing, so I called them to find out nothing has been done. I got angry and threatened to sue unless they got off their behinds and enforce the laws. I should point out I live in a town of about 2,000 people and nothing ever happens here. The cops are not understaffed or too busy on other cases. I also know I probably can't sue the cops into doing their jobs, but I lose nothing by threatening a lawsuit and I was mad at the time. Finally they got some of the teens seen on my security video, but again they tried to talk me out of pressing charges. I was adamant and insist they file charges. When my girlfriend found out about the situation, she said I should have let it go and we got into an argument about it. My own mother thinks I'm being a bully by forcing the cops to file charges against some teens who just wanted to throw a party. Virtually everyone I know is making me out to be some grumpy guy with a score to settle, and I kid you not, everyone in my life is trying to talk me out of it. They're worried teens' future over a pool party. I don't know when it became okay to break into someone's property. Right now it feels like it's me against the entire world. So, am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for lying to my girlfriend's parents about being on a diet so I won't have to eat their cooking? My girlfriend's family are animal lovers and have several big dogs with long coats, a couple of cats, birds, and her younger siblings have rat pets. Their entire house is covered in a thin layer of hair. If you sit anywhere in the house, it's guaranteed you'll have animal hair joyriding on your clothes. It's so bad that their food will have animal hair in it. These people will pick the animal hair out of their mouths and keep on chewing like it's the most normal thing in the world. I've seen their cats use the litter box then jump on the counter while her mom is cooking. Sometimes her mom pretends she's on a cooking show and narrates to the cats while the cats are pawing at the ingredients. Also, when I walk into the house I'm immediately hit with pungent animal odors. I don't know if it's from the litter boxes or the bird and rat cages, but I've gagged every time I've ever entered in their house. Outside of these issues, they are great people. So her parents had a dinner party and were cooking lots of food because they were expecting about 50 people. I knew from past experiences that I can't eat there, so I told my girlfriend I will meet her there instead of driving together because I had some stuff to do at work. I stopped at a restaurant after work and before the party. When I got there, her mom tried to make me a plate, but I told her that I was on a diet and trying to lose weight. My girlfriend overheard and glared silently at me. Her mom tried to get me to eat and I kept on saying how great her food smells, but I could see hair in it the entire time. When we got back to our place, my girlfriend tore into me as soon as she walked through the door. She said I was being disrespectful to her family by not eating their food and lying about being on a diet. That exploded into her asking what else am I lying about. She wants me to admit to her parents what I did and apologize, but I don't think I should, as I did lie, but it was to save their feelings. It's been a week and she's still mad at me and told me she'll remain mad until I apologize. She's angry sleeping on her side with her back to me right now. I never knew there was such a thing as angry sleeping, but I swear her snores are more aggressive than usual. Am I the asshole for refusing to apologize to my boyfriend for an inappropriate comment? I, female 23, and my boyfriend, Jake, male 25, have known each other for 2 years and been together for 5 months. The problem started 2 nights ago when we were together at my place watching Star Wars. Since we had both seen it before, we were chatting and making jokes throughout. About halfway in, Jake made a comment about how pretty Padme was and how the silk nightdress was his favorite outfit. I also think Natalie Portman is pretty, so I agreed but said my favorite was the lakeside dress. In response to this, Jake gave me a weird look and pulled away. I thought it was odd but brushed it off. For the rest of the movie, Jake barely responded to any of my comments and pulled out his phone to scroll through Twitter instead of watching. By the time the movie was over, I was admittedly kind of annoyed, so I asked him what was wrong. He ignored my question and started gathering his things. I followed him and asked again, as our plan had been to sleep at mine and get breakfast in the morning before work. Once he'd gathered all his things, he finally replied. Basically, Jake said that I had made him uncomfortable with my comment about Natalie Portman. He said it was gross and he didn't feel like I should be making sexual comments about other females. He said he didn't want to stay the night. Finally, he yelled at me, saying I should know why he's upset. I was absolutely baffled, and ended up just letting him leave. I am bisexual. My only other serious relationship was with another woman, let's call her Katie, 24, during my first years of university. We broke up amicably about 2 months before the party where I met Jake, as she moved back to her home country. Jake knows all this about me. We met at a pride party, where I explicitly told him I was bisexual. During the months of texting it was mentioned and acknowledged by us both multiple times. On one of our first dates we talked about past relationships and I told him about Katie. Jake is straight, but he knew when we started dating and he told me it didn't matter to him and he was just happy to be together. This is why I was so confused by his reaction. The next day we talked on the phone and I asked him to explain what was so wrong with what I'd said. He kept saying it was inappropriate and that I should know why he's upset. I started to get frustrated and asked him why I was in the wrong, and yet he was fine when in essence we said the exact same thing, the only difference which dress we thought was better. I asked him if it was because I am attracted to women, but he denied. I said I was sorry he was uncomfortable, but I'm not going to apologize because I don't think I said anything wrong. He hung up on me and hasn't talked to me since. Our friend group are pretty split, with some saying I am the asshole and Shudge saying I am not the asshole. He's acting weird and I didn't say anything wrong. Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for yelling at my mom for putting spinach in my rice, which ruined it? So I, 15 male, love to cook. In fact, I plan on making it my job one day, if possible. Tonight I was cooking for my girlfriend and her friends because she had been bragging about my cooking and they wanted to try it. I was making steamed garlic mushroom chicken and I was planning on trying a new recipe for rice that I had been tweaking, bamboo shoot and spring green onion rice, Japanese style. This particular rice has a very mild flavor, and any added ingredient could destroy it. While I was prepping the chicken, my mom was complaining about the lack of vegetables in the meal. Apparently the mushrooms, onion, and bamboo wasn't enough. I ignored her suggestions of what to add to make it more healthy and finished prepping the chicken, put it into the cooker, and moved on to the rice. I cut the green onion and sliced up the bamboo shoots and threw it into the rice cooker. I heard the doorbell ring and assumed it was my girlfriend, so I asked my mom to set the rice cooker for 45 minutes while I talked to them. I opened the door, said hello and led them to our living room, and told them dinner would be ready in 50 minutes. I checked on the rice cooker and it was set for the right time. So I figured everything was fine. 45 minutes later, after I had got the chicken out to cool, I opened the rice cooker to see there were slimy green leaves in it. Spinach. I tasted it, and it was ruined. Fuck. I quickly packed it into a container and put it in the fridge. I went out and grabbed my guests and told them that unfortunately something went wrong with the rice, so we would only have the chicken. Everyone ate, and after everyone had left, I got into an argument with my mom about the ruined rice in which she denied any wrongdoing and said she was only trying to help. I eventually yelled, "Mom, it was my fucking rice which you ruined, and you don't even care." She has been giving me the cold shoulder ever since, and I feel bad for yelling at her. Am I the asshole?